This often gives the attacker an extra move to make the pin even worse. If a piece is pinned, you don't have to capture it right away. If you remember the lesson on counting attackers and defenders, you'll know that it's important to keep adding attackers to outnumber the defenders. Let's take a look at some examples together. In this position, Black's rook is pinned to the king, so Black brings the king closer in order to protect the rook. Notice that the rook is still pinned. How can White pile on more pressure to the pinned piece? That's right, push the pawn. White now has two attackers against the rook, so Black's king cannot recapture when the rook is captured. Notice if White would have captured the rook before adding the pawn to the attack, White would have lost the advantage, but now White gets to keep the bishop. White simply wins the rook. Let's take a look at another example. In this position, White's knight is pinned to the queen. How can Black pile on more pressure to the pinned piece? That's right, with the knight. Knight to d4. Now White will lose the knight, because if White recaptures with the queen, Black will take the queen as well. Now that you've learned the importance of piling up on pinned pieces, it's your turn to increase the pressure against pinned pieces.